Acquired an AI company for billions of dollars. The reason? It doesn't just give you answers, it actually does the work for you. The tool is Manus AI. This company went from $0 to $100 million in revenue in just 8 months, the fastest any startup has ever done. I've been obsessively testing AI tools for years, and this one is different from anything I've ever seen. My whole team considers it a non-negotiable, and I truly believe you should too. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through 7 use cases that will absolutely blow your mind. Tasks that used to take hours or cost thousands of dollars, now done in minutes. From building websites and apps without writing a single line of code, to never running out of content ideas ever again, to how to spy on your competitors and how to recover revenue that you thought was gone. And at the end, I'm gonna tell you about a feature within Manus that nobody's talking about that'll change your whole experience. Starting with what makes Manus completely different from everything you've ever used. Your new digital employee. Here's the difference. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, any AI tool, you chat with it and then it gives you a response. It tells you what to do once you give it a chat prompt. Manus, it just does it. I know this sounds crazy, but it will open up tabs, it will click buttons for you, it will fill out forms, it'll send emails, post on Slack, listen to the replies. It even books calendar events. Think of it like hiring an intern. And the cool part is, it works 24/7, it never calls in sick, and it costs you $39 a month. That makes no sense. The best part, no coding, no terminal, plain English in, a finished product out. I do need to warn you, there's a tendency for you to want to leave Manus once it does some work. Don't do it. I dare you to stay in the tool and have the tool do whatever you're about to do next. You have to use AI to disrupt yourself, to do all your work before the AI and other people do it to you. Now that you know how it actually works, let me show you what it can actually do, and this first one is going to blow your mind. Use case number 1, a $10,000 website in minutes. Back in the day, like a few months ago, if you needed to build a website, you had to find somebody who was like an agency or a freelancer, and it took a lot of time. I mean, most people spent $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 on a website, going back and forth for weeks. Revisions taking days. Need an update 6 months later? Pay again, wait again, the whole process repeats itself. The other day, my friend Stephanie was with us in Mexico. I was explaining to her kind of the cool new things I was doing in AI, and I showed her Manus. That night, as a non-technical person, she left and built a new website she'd been putting off, a new registration page to help her sell her processes. She integrated it into Stripe. She made the whole thing work all by herself. And the best part, you can do this too. So here's how we create a website in minutes. First, you just gotta go to manus.im and create an account. The second thing is we need to select the build website feature. Third, we gotta give it your prompt. So here's a pro tip though, is that I use voice to text. Hit that little mic icon and just talk to it. So I'll say, build me a website for my landscaping business in Austin, Texas. I need a homepage, a service page, about page, and a contact form. Make it modern and clean, green and white colors. Use the URL below as a reference for look and feel. Ask me questions if anything is unclear before you start. Then I'll just give it the URL for the reference website. Now watch it work in real time. It opens the browser, it writes the code, it builds the page, it adds copy. Once it's done, we can give it feedback. Again, just use the voice to text feature. So I might say something like, oh, that looks cool, but let's make the design feel more minimalistic and modern. We might say, reduce the amount of text on the homepage and make the call to action button bigger. And then we hit enter. And then poof, it's done. Now you just connect it to a domain in GitHub or something similar and you're live. And if you need help doing that, just ask it and it'll walk you through the steps. Think about it before. Manual, this would have took you 2 to 4 weeks if you could find the right person and cost you $3,000 to $10,000. With Manus, that's less than 20 minutes worth of work and it'll save you $3,000 to $10,000. Now, that's a full website in minutes, but here's where it gets even freaking crazier. Manus doesn't just build websites, it builds actual working apps. Use case number 2, your first app and no developer needed. Think about it before, and maybe you've gone through this process of building an app or custom software. You have an idea, you think I need to find a developer, maybe it's a client portal or a booking tool or some kind of management system, or it could just be even just like a personal project management software. So you look for this developer, you find them, and then they quote you $10,000. I mean, I've had people spend $50,000 to $100,000 building an app that took months of development, bugs, delays, scope creep. Most people honestly just give up before it ever gets built, and all that money is a waste. When I was in my 20s, I had this crazy idea to build this property management software called Greenlight Property Management, and we spent months and almost $250,000 before I ever knew if anyone would pay. Finally, we launched. There was delays, there was scope creep, there was freaking bugs that just sucked. Then we found out there was features that we built that nobody used. I've personally watched founders in my life, because I'm a software guy, burn through buckets of cash hiring developers and interface designers to build features and products that nobody wants. And now you can take what used to take months and get the full app, the full thing built using these AI agents in less time than it would take you to eat lunch. Step one is we write the plan. We want to talk about the app. We want to talk about who's going to be the customer, what are the features, how it's going to flow, what information they're going to give it, what information is the app going to give it back. So then we take that and we go to Manus. We select develop apps, and then you give it your prompt. And again, I'm using voice to text. You could say something like, build me a client intake app for my consulting business. Clients should be able to create an account, fill out an onboarding questionnaire, upload documents, and see their project status. Make it clean and professional. And again, ask me any questions if anything's unclear before you start. The crazy part is you can include any drawings that you might have drew in the planning phase. You could take screenshots of existing apps and you can give it all that as attachment. So now you just wait till it's done and relax, maybe go get a coffee and come back while it's doing its work. And once we come back, we just test it and we give it some feedback. It's got everything you asked for, the questionnaire, the project status, all of it. It'll design things that you didn't even know you should have in there. The coolest part is Manus will now give you a deployment link that you can share and connect to any domain. That means you can share it with your coworkers, you can share it with a client to test it out and get even more feedback. The fun part for me is I use it to build disposable apps, things that I might use for a couple days or a week, and then it serves the project's purpose, and then I just get rid of it because it was worth the time and cost to develop it, to use it for that week with my team, and then I don't need it anymore. In the past, manually, we're talking 2 to 6 months if it ever shipped, costing you easily $10,000 to $50,000. And with Manus, under an hour, and it'll save you $10,000 to $50,000. Is that not a good deal? And look, if you're thinking, I need to start using AI in my business, but you don't know where to start, I have a playbook and I call it the AI Business Cheat Sheet. It's got everything. It shows you how to turn your whole team into AI power users so they can do 10x more, 10x better, 10x faster. It even includes the full templated prompts so that they can learn how to use AI best for their specific role. Just DM me AI cheat sheet on Instagram and I'll send it right over. I never do sponsorship. But since Manus is a tool that I actually use every freaking day, Manus reached out to me because they've been seeing me talk about this for the last few months, and they were willing to give me 1,000 free credits to give anybody who's watching this video. So if you're interested, the link's below. Now let's talk about how Manus can actually help you with your content. Use case number 3, infinite content machine. Before, without a tool like this, we had to sit down, stare at a blank screen, spend hours brainstorming. Maybe you'd sit down and write out a week of ideas. Next week, same struggle, do it again. The worst part is you're inconsistent, not only in the work, but in the ideas because the process was so freaking exhausting. With Manus, one prompt, you get a full 30-day calendar built from what's actually working in your space. So here's how we do this. So now in Manus, for this one, let's select wide research feature. And now you want to give it a prompt. So for example, you might say, I run a personal training business. I want to target busy professionals, research the top 20 fitness creators on Instagram and YouTube, find the posts and videos that significantly outperform their average, and use those patterns to build me a 30-day content calendar for Instagram and LinkedIn. Include the post ideas, the hooks, the captions, and best posting times. Focus on weight loss, meal prep, and home workouts. The key is the prompt. See what I did there? I told it to go to the internet, do the research, and find what's called outliers, where things performed higher. Use that as an input. Don't copy it, but be inspired by it, and then have Manus create your content outline. It talks about the platform that you want to post on, the content type, the hook, the caption, even the CTA. Now you have 30 days of ideation done, all pre-validated. Manually, this would have stressed you the frick out. It would have took you 12 to 15 hours every month. Now with Manus, we're talking 15 minutes of your time. The rest is AI. Now here's where it gets really freaking interesting for my fellow business owners. Manus will help you know exactly what your competitors are doing before they even do it. Which brings us to use case number 4, spy on your competitors. In the past, this process, you had to find mentions of their competitors and then people would clip it and they put it in a binder and they'd read it, or use social media tools to monitor and bring it to you. Same thing. It was a messy document. It didn't make any sense and it wasn't structured. Kind of reminds me of this quote by Andy Grove, who is the founder and CEO of Intel. And he used to say this mantra all the time, which is only the paranoid survive. See, Intel didn't stay on top because they were the nicest. They knew what their competition was doing before the competition even knew. How? Well, they would tell their portfolio managers, if you aren't tracking your competitors' pricing, their features, every week you're walking across a highway with a blindfold on. The difference now, it takes one prompt to your AI agent and you're done. So let's look on how we actually do it. First off, we want to go into Manus and we want to choose the feature wide research. Then again, we give it the prompt. For example, using the same 5 competitors from before, that was our first project. We want to pull their pricing, their positioning. We want to take their customer reviews, their social media strategy, their ad campaigns, and their website structure. I know it doesn't feel fair, but who cares? And then just ask it. Deliver me a comparison spreadsheet and sections with the top 5 opportunities where my business can differentiate. Now you watch it. It's kind of crazy. It opens up each website. It scrapes the data. It checks for reviews. It pulls social content. It even scans ad libraries. It finds information and shows you what it's doing in things you didn't even know was available. Now you've got a spreadsheet. So then sort the spreadsheet and use the differentiating opportunities. Now the next step is to tell it, put the top 5 differentiating opportunities into a minimalistic, sleek presentation and slack it to Sam Gaudette for review. In the past, manually, we're talking 10 to 20 hours of research. Today, with Manus, 30 minutes tops. So now you know what your competitors are doing, even things that they don't know what they're doing. But there's still this one thing that I know every entrepreneur, business owner that I know still struggles with, and it eats the most time in their calendar, and that's finding the right people. Which brings us to use case number 5, hire the best while you sleep. I don't know how you hire, but most people, they have an open role they know they need to hire, probably too late. They post the job once they finally spec it out. They get flooded with a bunch of resumes with people that are desperate. What they may not realize is it took them 15 to 25 hours to process all information to finally circle back with the people. And the truth is the best candidates, they're already gone. With Manus, it builds the hiring brief for you, and then it goes find candidates that are awesome. Let me show you how. So this time we just go to Manus and we give it this prompt. So I'll say something like, I need to hire someone for my business. Create a form for me to fill out that gathers everything you need to find my ideal candidate, right? Talk about the roles, the skills, the experience, the location, maybe the hours, things that are deal breakers. That's a big one. Nice to have, salary range, anything else. Then it's gonna create that form. Step 2 is to fill out the form and then let it search. It'll scan LinkedIn, Indeed, poll profiles, and then it'll rank all those people by fit. So now you got to review it. Review their name, their LinkedIn, their experience, the skill, and specifically the fit score. Now have it draft a personalized outreach message to your top picks. This is the game changer. Most of you put a job posting and you wait for people to apply. What we're doing here is we're saying, no. Let's tell Manus to go sort through all the noise, come back to us, find their email, find their contact info, write the message, and then send it to start creating pipeline. Manually doing this would have easily taken 15 to 25 hours. And if you had to pay for a recruiter, you're looking minimum 5 to 10K in recruiter fees. With Manus, we're talking 45 minutes and it saves you $5,000 to $10,000 or way more, and it's done in real time. And you pocket all that money. But here's an interesting question. What's good if you've got this great team, but you don't have enough leads? This is where Manus gets scary good. Which brings us to use case number 6, leads for days. Today, if you even do this, you might be on LinkedIn, you might be Googling, you might be looking up directories, you're manually trying to find companies or individuals, you're looking up decision makers, you're copying emails, you're putting this all into a spreadsheet or your CRM. And you're trying to find maybe 200 qualified leads that you could spend, 30 to 50 hours of work doing. Maybe you have somebody on your team right now and that's their full-time job. I remember in the early days of Flowtown, when we were trying to find small businesses that were using social media, we had a team of people where they had multiple monitors and they were scraping LinkedIn, they were looking at directories, they were looking at business awards, and they were copying all that information into a spreadsheet and finding emails. It was a team's full-time effort to do it. It was like soul-crushing work. 40 hours a week just to maybe find 100 decent leads. Now with Manus, it writes the outreach, it sends the first email, all from one conversation. Let me show you how. We're using the wide research feature. So for example, I might say, find me 200 e-commerce businesses doing $1 million to $10 million in revenue in the US. For each one, I need you to find me the CEO or the marketing director. I need their name, their email, their LinkedIn profile, and their company website, and save that into a spreadsheet format. Then it goes off and it does all this work and it comes back. And then you have that spreadsheet. Then if you connect the Gmail connector in Manus, you can run a second prompt. So I'll say, draft me a personalized 3-sentence email for each lead referencing something specific from their LinkedIn or website, because you gotta personalize it. And then the last step is just tell it to send the first one and watch Manus send it directly from your inbox as you, and it could automate the whole process. In the past, if I was doing this manually, I mean, it would take me 30 to 60 hours of effort. And if I was outsourcing it, people charge easily 10 to 40K a month to have other people do this for them. With Manus, we're talking 1 to 2 hours. All of it is done, and it'll save you so much cash. My only suggestion to you is do 10, see what the response rates are, maybe tweak the message, send another 10, see what happens, and you can play with it. The only way to really build a business is to have a marketing system. And a system stands for save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. Manus will do that for you. So now that you've got a full pipeline, personalized outreach going every day, that first email is sent. What about the leads that you've already talked to and they've gone cold or you forgot to follow up with? This last point might be the most profitable thing you do all day. Which brings us to use case number 7, revive your dead deals. Every business has them. These are leads that went dark, people that didn't reply. They essentially ghosted you. I mean, conversations might be great. You were excited. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you. Yeah, I'll send that over to you. And then nothing. Most businesses lose 30 to 50% of their deals this way. And your team, too busy chasing new leads to circle back. So you want to make some real money? Let's go activate those dead deals. For example, I've been in sales for nearly 30 years, and 3 words kill most deals almost every time. Just checking in. That is lazy. It adds no value. What I would tell you to do instead of the just checking in message, send the CEO or your lead an article that's very specific around a problem that you talked about last time that you just happened to see. And if you really want to get them going, find an article from their competitor. And guess what? If they're smart, they're going to reply and they go, maybe it's time we talk again. Most of your leads actually aren't dead. They're just bored of getting bullshit messages from you, and you have the opportunity to make it dynamic and personalized and fun. With Manus, you can give it access to your CRM, it'll find the dead deals, it'll write the re-engagement message, and it hits send for you. So here's how we're gonna do this. Go into Manus and you give it this simple prompt. You can say, here's my CRM. Now I'm saying CRM like you may not have one or you gotta connect it, but essentially it could be a spreadsheet. But just tell it, find all the open deals that haven't gotten a reply or an activity in 30 days. You can even ask it to go through your emails. And then for each one of them, analyze the last touch point, figure out why they likely went cold, and draft a personalized re-engagement email, reference some part of our previous conversation, find an article that adds value to their life, solving a pain they explained to me in our last conversation, and tell it, friendly founder tone, not salesy. Hey, I just read this and I was thinking about you. You can use any CRM that you use for this example. I'm obviously using fake data, but at least shows you how it can work. Now it'll write all the emails and then you can review the emails, tweak anything that doesn't sound like you, and then hit send. Then you tell it to use the Google Calendar connector and tell it, create a recurring 1-hour block in my calendar on the first of every month called Revive Dead Leads. Manus review. Now I use the calendar feature in Manus in really interesting ways. For example, I have a chief of staff calendar analysis prompt that I'll put below in the description. You can just copy and paste it. But essentially it looks at my goals for the year, it looks at my calendar, and then it does some analysis to figure out, am I actually doing the work I should be doing to get those kind of results? And it is wild because it makes it almost gamified where I have to like update my calendar because I know next week it's gonna run the audit and then it's gonna give me a score. It even makes sure that the calendar is accurate for the next 4 weeks. It looks at anything that might be missing and it merges that information, it posts it in Slack message, and it pings my assistant and myself so we're both on the same page. Think about this manually. We're spending 2 to 3 hours or way more per week, per rep, trying to revive most dead deals, right? And the truth is most never do it because they're so busy trying to get the new deals. With Manus, guaranteed, focus, 30 to 45 minutes a month, and it could easily recover 25 to 50K in lost revenue if 50 deals or more are just stalled deals. Now, those are 7 game-changing business growth, friggin' blow your brain wide open use cases, but there's a feature that just came out that a lot of people don't know. So you've probably heard of these agentic systems. Well, Manus came out with a feature that lets you connect your Telegram to it so that you can actually chat with Manus from your phone. Yes, Manus has a mobile app, but I use this feature all the time because it acts like an agent. I can even say, hey, every morning I want you to look at my calendar, look at my emails, look at my goals, and tell me what are 3 or 4 things that you could do for me, and suggest them every morning. Most people, you hear these and you're like, that sounds awesome. You start there, but what's the next batch of things? What's the next set of things I should do? Have Manus do the research and tell you. Use the Telegram connector and treat it like a friend. It'll just change your relationship with AI where I think it's going, it's there now. So basically, this is like a personal assistant, somebody dedicated to you, thinking about you, protecting your time, giving you ideas. And that is a very unique use case that most people have never experienced with AI. And the best part of it is that you can use the voice mode, you can chat with it, you can send it pictures, all through Telegram. So this was a big video and I did it on purpose. I mean, we talked about how do we build websites, how to launch an app, how to plan content for months, spy on competitors, hire faster, generate leads, and recover lost revenue, all with one tool in 0 code. A year ago, this would have cost you 6 figures in a full-time team. It's wild. Now it costs you an afternoon. And the truth is, the gap between people who use AI and people who are still just talking about it, thinking about it, getting ready to use it, it's getting bigger and bigger. But you seeing and knowing this is a game changer for you. But don't get me wrong, if you don't take action, nothing will change. So I need you to leave me a comment below and make a commitment to me. What's the 1 out of the 7 use cases that I just showed you that you're gonna commit to doing now? So click the link, grab your 1,000 credits, and use those to actually go try something today. And remember, if you want to turn your whole team into AI power users, just DM me AI cheat sheet on Instagram and I'll send it right over for free. Now, if you want to learn about other AI tools that you should be using right now, click here and I'll see you on the other side.